Njoo makosa ya kwanza ni kufikiria
funguke macho pia. Mpaka Nyanza unafukuzwa. Hapa walikuwa nalipa watu ati ukipata mtu anaandamana upige. Hiyo ndio tunaendelea kuishi. Mtu wewe mwenyewe unaleta maandamano, wewe mwenyewe hutaki maandamano yaendelee. Kama lugha ya serikali inaweza sikia ni maandamano, Saba Saba tutoke nje. Waue vile walisema wanaua.
As a leader, when you've been given a task to rule a community or to lead a country, your main mandate is to protect lives. Without lives, you cannot lead anybody. So one thing, and I'm saying to the next leader in this country, the reason why people are going to the street are not because we want to go to the street. But number one, we are going to the street because...
Thousands of Kenyan Gen Zs who went to attend the Summertides Party in Diani have been left stranded after the Express Madaraka SGR train announced that it will not be resuming its journey. The 10 p.m. journey is previously scheduled from Mombasa to Nairobi. And in fact, those that were en route to Nairobi by bus or by car, most of them have been blocked at the Dongo Kundu area. And from the reports being shared online as well, some of them are highlighting that, there's been like continuous police checkpoints, and some of the police are even asking and inquiring, why are you going to Nairobi? Others who are diverted back and being told they should go back to the hotels. But then from the responses from the Gen Zs, some of them are saying they only had accommodation money for the event, and now that the event has ended, everybody is going back to their destination. People are going their separate ways. They don't have money that can cater for the accommodation tonight. Unfortunately, from a follow-up conversation, when one of the officials, as well as including a media personality who tried to inquire and even follow up with the SGR, they have not given any communication about what will happen to the passengers who had already booked the train in regards to the accommodation, where they will sleep for the night. Most of the passengers are still stranded outside the terminus. Nothing is going on. The only thing they did is they published that statement on their social media that cited and stated that they'll not be proceeding with their slated journey to Nairobi, the Express Madaraka SGR. Now, a hashtag is currently trending on X, boycott SGR, because it comes at a time when tomorrow most of the Gen Zs are supposed to actually take place in the Saba Saba protests that have been massively and highly anticipated and contested. Despite the fact there's been a lot of reactions as well from politicians. Earlier during the day, we saw Esther Passaris do a convergence press briefing among a host of other politicians, including Jalango, Member of Parliament Langata, Karen Nyamu. Of course, they really had some daft things to say, but you know what? We move regardless. Now, on the other side, right here in Nairobi, we had the offices of the Kenya Human Rights Commission being invaded by goons. It started off, according to the CCTV footage I've actually seen, the shutdown citizen. It started off as one person who was just walking, a passersby, and then eventually other guys flocked in, and then they ended up invading the premises, and they ended up disrupting a meetup of women who are actually trying to discuss of how they're going to participate in tomorrow's protest and also advocate for human rights. There are people who are injured, laptops, gadgets, electronics who are stolen, including CCTV footages that some of them were saying was interfered with. But there are people who are robbed. I've not heard any reports of rape, but it's believed they were government-hired goons. And now human rights activists are gathering up and asking for the authorities to ensure that they apprehend and do quick investigation so that the goons who flocked in large numbers are taken into account. But it is believed they're government-hired goons. But then on the other side, as well as Raila Odinga saying he'll be at Kamukunji, so if there'll be anyone who'll be participating in the Saba Saba, he'll be there. Of course, he's part of the history. And lastly, businesses in the CBD have been told to shut down. Most of them are taking precautions because of what happened last 2 weeks ago when the June anniversary protest happened. There's some schools as well that have issued a communique to parents to not allow them, especially schools within Nairobi, and even some say corporate spaces as well. But we heard a press address from the Public Service Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Ruku saying, anybody who will miss work tomorrow, then they'll be fired or whatnot. But yeah, that's the situation in Kenya. It's really unfortunate. What is the government afraid of the Kenyan Gen Zs, But again, you have the right to picket and demonstrate. Article 37 of the Kenyan Constitution allows you to do everything and anything you can, but within the confines of the law. When it comes to lootings, shootings, remember we heard Interior Cabinet Secretary give a shoot to kill order. Right now, he said he's told all the policemen to be humble and meek, as humble as a dove. That's what he said, right? So we trust that tomorrow, Saba Saba protests are going to be cordially done, and it will end up to be a happy day. Otherwise, happy Saba Saba day to each and every one of you.